Hi, this is Ron Brown for your Being Truly Well Minutes for today. Today I want to talk about one really important, basic but very important thing. And what I want to talk about is GIGO. No, not the car insurance company. Garbage in, garbage out. GIGO. If you put negative things into your mind, into your conscious mind, if it's what you dwell on, if you dwell on your lack, if you dwell on not wanting to be something, you use not, your subconscious mind doesn't hear the word not. It just says, oh, okay, they want more debt, or they want more problems. Oh, I don't want any more problems. No, you're asking for problems. Your subconscious mind only hears problems and starts to do it. I know a lot of programmers over the years at several companies, and the one thing they always tell you, if you put garbage in, you're going to get only garbage out. So if the programming's not right, then what comes out on the other side is just going to be riddled with bugs. And bugs in programming simply mean there's problems, glitches, things that stop the program from working properly. And our subconscious mind is truly wanting to receive from us instructions. It's like a computer operating system waiting for a program to run so that it can compile it, run it, and give you the results you need. GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. What I'm saying is power. Give yourself empowerment by believing truly in what you're putting forth. You can't fool a fooler. It's an expression you've heard, I'm sure. So what you need to do is really truly believe with your heart, soul, and mind in your potential. You know, I've had a few conversations over the past few days with some friends that I've known for years, former coworkers, and others. And the one thing that amazes me is they let finally things sink in. And they truly are ready at a point in their life to receive it and let it be life to them. And what holds us back is the little wrappers that get around it, that keep it from being received. How many of you ever, in a mindless moment in a lunch, maybe it was when you were in high school, maybe when you were in elementary school, you so quickly grabbed your sandwich to eat it that you forgot to take the sandwich wrapper off, and you tried to bite it, and then you felt like a fool. You go, oh, I forgot to take the wrapper off. Well, that's truly how concepts are in our life. We must, and I can't emphasize this enough, be at the right point in our life to say, I'm ready to receive this. I'm ready to open it up and receive what it has to offer me and give it exactly the right way that it can be received by taking the wrapper completely off and be ready to absorb and take in its worth. I want to give you an example of the power of your mind and how simple it really is. And I call this the PB&J example, but you can use whatever example you'd like. So, right where you are, I want you to listen to me, but close your eyes. And I want you to think, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, as soon as you do that, your mind starts going to work. Okay, he wants a peanut butter or she wants a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, the first thing I'd have to do is get out of this chair, get away from my computer, go into the kitchen, and I know that the peanut butter is on the second shelf of the third cabinet on the left, and I know the bread is in the bread box, and I know the jelly is on the door in the refrigerator on the second door, and the knives are in the knife drawer, so I have to get one of those. Without even wanting to do so, your subconscious mind already has you in the kitchen making the sandwich. Why? Because we truly want our lives to give us what we desire. So, if you can open your eyes now, but if you try this exercise after the video, I promise you that if you visualize something like that, it will tell you okay, I want to draw this to me. So in order to do that, I need to do this, 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 and this. And so if you have true desires in life to accomplish great things, or to be what you're meant to be, for me, it's to be an author and a life coach. I'm going to focus on my weight loss and continue to lose. I've lost over 112 pounds so far. I know I said that a couple weeks ago, but I haven't been to a scale lately. I know I've lost, just don't know how much. But I know that as I slim down and become my true authentic self 100%, which I have been, I know what's going to yield is a wonderful harvest of truth and light. And I thought over the years of numerous people that I've worked with and helped and talked to, and it's always been there in front of me, the desire to help others. And so I found my passion asleep, laying in a field. And now I've awoken, and I'm truly being drawn toward it daily. But what I want to emphasize to you is you can't live it half-heartedly. I saw a wonderful interview with Will Smith. Someone had posted on YouTube some clips of things that Will Smith said. And one of the things he said in the interview was he said, you can have whatever you want. You've got to desire it and go after it and with full force be willing to sacrifice for it. And then, like water going around a rock, nothing's going to stop you from getting where you need to go. Love that. Love that. It's a great quote. And I think of Bob Proctor, who talked about how he had a statement, an affirmation that he said hundreds of times, and tens of times a day he would say this to himself. You know, that he is attracting money to himself, that he is happily, accepting money coming his way in different sources from different ways that are being sent to him daily. And it's a joyful message. It's nice, but it's truth. If you constantly put in positivity, what's going to come out is closeness to your goal. But you need to be clear and concise. Just to say, oh, I want to have a nice home, I want to have a happy family, I want to have this, I want to have that. That's fine, but you need to be specific of where you want to go. Visualize the house you want to be living in, the people that you want to have around you, the ones that are laughing with you through the good times and holding you through the times that are rough. You need to be specific and clear and get a vision in your head and take action steps. And like we talked about before, be like the baby that takes those steps to get ever closer to learn how to walk until they're walking on their own. Does a parent have to, when a child is 10, say, yay, you're still walking? No. Why? Because they've learned that lesson and they're ready for the next lesson. But that lesson was so key to everything else that had to happen. Think about that. Truly think about that. You are a wonderful, wonderful, loving person who is love and light. And until you remove the scales from your eyes, have you ever had bad sinuses and you wake up and your eyes are all crusty and you're like, ugh? And you splash water on your eyes, and then once all that gunk is out of there and you take your sinus medicine, all of a sudden you wake up and you go, now I feel better. Well, those scales literally have to come from your eyes. What's blocking you from truly seeing the potential within yourself? So as we're about to have a wonderful and joyous time with our families, or maybe you're having a TV dinner at home alone, doesn't matter. When we get to Thanksgiving, which is only 2 days away, let us be thankful for what we have experienced, good and bad. But let us look forward with great anticipation and joy. The positive input, no garbage in, garbage out, but only the positive that you look forward to going forth. That's key. Hear me on that. listen and absorb it. No garbage in, garbage out. Only positivity. If you constantly watch television, don't watch shows that constantly tear people down. You know, if they're talking about cheating husbands and doing this and negativity, what's that going to provide to you? Negativity. If you have an iPod or if you have any sort of musical device you listen to, an MP3 player, you know, load on there some books of positive messages. There's wonderful ones out there. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is one of my very, very favorites. Seed of the Soul is another one. They're all positive messages talking about how we are becoming ever more in a moving in a new direction in our lives and how it can be done. Look to the positive. If it's time with your children, take them somewhere to a park and let them play and let them say, if you could create anything, what would you create? And let them talk. I guarantee you'll be impressed with how they're so positive about what they want. Well, what I'd like is, I could picture this, and I could picture that, and I could picture, look at the sandcastle I just built, and I could live in here, and this is where I would rule, and this is what I would do. And then let the aha moment happen to you. Because when we're a child, we have faith that anything is possible, and that our parents love us. We lose that when we become a teenager. We become cynical. It's part of life. Oh, I know best. I know what I'm doing. I don't want to hear mom and dad. We go off on our way. We do our own thing. And then those negative things start coming in. I'm going to do this because I want to be bad. Well, what happens is we create these stumbling blocks for ourselves. Not the whispers that I talked about before. These are other stumbling blocks. These are self-imposed stumbling blocks of doubt. You try something. You remember the first time you rode a bicycle and you fell and you scraped your knee? Did you stop riding a bike? No. Why? Well, number one, you didn't because you knew better. You knew, that hurt, so maybe you didn't ride that day. But you got back on that bike and you rode again. Let me share with you a funny story, just really quickly. I promise I'll let you go early today, but when I was in the Air Force back in South Dakota, I went to a place called Rainbow Bible Ranch, the most wonderful, glorious place owned by a wonderful family that had a place for singles to come together and to socialize together in a positive way. And I truly love that family. They're amazing people. And they had horses there that you could ride. And I had rode a horse, I think maybe once in my life before then, just briefly. Well, I got on the horse, and I was ready to ride, and the ground was extremely rocky because there had been a rainstorm before, and it just settled where the hoof prints were, very rough. Well, a horsefly came up and spooked my horse by landing on his nose, and the horse started doing a bronco ride. You know, those 8-second little things where you try to stay on the horse? Well, needless to say, I didn't stay on the horse. I flew off the back, in fact, luckily missing my head with its back hoof as it kicked upward like a donkey. I landed on the ground, and I had ripped a scab along my arm, maybe about 8 inches long and about 2 inches wide. And I didn't need stitches, but it sure pulled back the skin quite a bit. And it was a Christian camp, and all I could say to myself is, ow, that really hurt. And I held back any words because I knew I wanted to be a positive person. Well, I could very easily never ride a horse again. But what I did, I healed up that arm, which looked like a piece of beef jerky when it dried with the scab. I remember going back and I rode a horse again there. And I had to do it because I wasn't going to let one bad experience dictate my enjoyment of something that was so pleasurable for so many. Riding a horse. And I remember riding the path with some friends and riding back. I didn't stay on the horse long, but it was important that I went back and I did it. So I want you to think about that today. What is your experience? What horses have bucked you off? and you've allowed those negative experiences to hold you back, never trying things again. Are there those things? If there are, it's time to get back on that saddle with a positive mental attitude. You know, there's so many people I've talked about in these video series. J.K. Rowling, who constantly was told that, no, you're not going to publish your book. She never gave up. She knew and she believed in herself enough to make it happen. You know, Thomas Edison, 999 different elements he tried before he finally found the right one on the 1000th one. And, you know, he never gave up, let alone the bankers who refused to fund him because they said, oh, your invention's not going to work. You can't get it to work. Why should we fund you? He had to believe in himself enough. Place positive thoughts. I see the light bulb lighting up. So many examples like that. You need to definitely believe in yourself, feed only positive in, and let it happen. You know, I heard Bob Proctor talk about the paradigm, that we have a paradigm that's in us of our subconscious mind that can't hear the nots and the I don't wants. They only hear what's being received. So I want you to fill up your platter of Thanksgiving, not with turkey and stuffing, but with all the positivity you can in your life. Every day, take time to go within and meditate. See yourself happy, healthy, moving forward to your goals, writing them down, and daily taking action steps to achieve them. Don't let the garbage in, because you'll only get garbage out. It's time to put good things in and let your program run bug-free. You deserve it, don't you? I know I do. This is Ron Brown for your Being Truly Well Minutes. We'll see you tomorrow.